We are also following some breaking news out of France, where the polls are closing in the consequential first round of a snap parliamentary election. It comes as recent polling numbers show President Emmanuel Macron's centrist coalition behind the far-right National Rally Party. Let's go to NBC's Megan Fitzgerald, who's joining me now with the very latest. So, Megan, welcome. I understand we're getting the first results now, just right this hour, about today's voting. What do we know so far?
Yeah, Alex, you're absolutely right. I mean, polls just closed about 30 minutes ago. We are starting to get early exit poll numbers coming in that show that Marine Le Pen's far-right National Rally Party has clinched so far about 34% of the vote. Macron's centrist party coming in at third with about 20.5% of the vote. Again, still very early. But what we know for sure is that we have seen a voter turnout, one that we've not seen in more than 40 years, since 1981. We're looking at numbers of around 67% voter turnout. And Alex, that most certainly goes to show you just how important French citizens see this election, how much they see is at stake here. Now, to back up, just to kind of give some more context about what's happening here, these French citizens going to the polls to elect seats in the National Assembly. So we could sort of compare that to American citizens going to the polls, for example, to vote for seats in the House of Representatives. So this is the lower house. And look, you know, we have seen these polls before leading up to today that showed Marine Le Pen's party pulling ahead with some 30+% of the vote. And so this is sort of in line with what we saw. Now, if in fact she does win, you know, her party wins, this is a party that her father founded. Many political scientists will tell you a party founded on many racist ideologies, racist policies, along with anti-immigration, anti-European policies. Marine Le Pen has softened those policies, but still incredibly controversial. Voters will go back to the polls next weekend for a runoff election. And again, should her party pull ahead, should they win, it is likely that the president of the National Rally Party, a guy named Jordan Bardella, will become the prime minister, most certainly. He's controversial for many of the things that he's been talking about vocally, about pushing legislation that bans, for example, headscarves in public in France, slashing immigration. France is home to one of the largest Muslim populations that we see throughout Europe. So again, a lot of controversy here. It's still very early. Poll numbers, votes are still being counted. But this is a very consequential election. All eyes are most certainly on France right now.
And let's just be clear. This does not put the French President Emmanuel Macron out of office. This merely makes it perhaps more difficult, as he has to incorporate members of these different parties into his government, and makes it more difficult for him to accomplish what he wants to, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right. This just makes his governing power that much more difficult because, again, imagine there's a Democrat like we have in the United States with a Senate and a lower house, a House of Representatives controlled by an opposite party. Mm-hmm. It makes it more challenging for him to push through the legislation and his agenda that he has. This is Macron, a president that's already been weakened. We've seen the yellow vest protests. We've seen the protests around the, retirement age. He has been an embattled president. This most certainly makes his tenure that much more difficult.